9 quiet traps that steal years after 65 and how to avoid them. When Leonard turned 65, he thought retirement would feel like freedom. No more morning alarms, no more staff meetings, and finally, time for himself. But 6 months in, he realized something unsettling. The days blurred together. His energy dipped, his motivation faded. He was free, yes, but also drifting. One afternoon, his daughter visited and found him sitting silently in his recliner, staring out the window. "Dad," she said gently, "this isn't you." That was the wake-up call. They sat down, made coffee, and talked honestly. What emerged from that conversation were 9 quiet traps, small, often invisible habits that can slowly rob years from life after 65. Leonard had fallen into most of them, but with awareness came change. Isolation. Leonard hadn't noticed how few people he saw each week. He joined a local coffee group and committed to one social event weekly. Just talking again lifted his spirits. 2. Physical inactivity. Long walks turned into long naps, so he started walking around the block daily, eventually building to morning Tai Chi in the park. Motion returned, and so did his balance. 3. Skipping purpose. Retirement left a gap. Leonard began mentoring young men at a local youth center. Having a reason to get up each day made him feel vital again. 4. Ignoring nutrition. He had slipped into the frozen meal habit. With his daughter's help, he started batch cooking simple, healthy meals. More vegetables, less sugar. His energy picked up within weeks. 5. Routine rut. Every day had started to look the same, so Leonard shook things up. Different routes for walks, new books, even learning Spanish online. Variety sparked curiosity. 6. Avoiding health checks. Fear of bad news kept him from the doctor, but avoiding checkups only made things worse. He scheduled a full wellness visit and caught an early-stage condition that was easily treatable. 7. Mental underuse. Leonard had stopped challenging his mind. Now he does daily crosswords, reads nonfiction, and joined a virtual book club. His memory and focus noticeably improved. 8. Negative self-talk. "I'm too old for that" became a default excuse. He replaced it with "why not?" That simple change opened doors to new experiences. 9. Digital overuse. Hours scrolling news and social media left him feeling anxious. He limited screen time and spent more of it outdoors or calling family. It didn't happen overnight, but Leonard reclaimed his days, his health, and most importantly, his sense of self. He now tells his friends, it's not the big stuff that takes your time, it's the quiet little habits that go unnoticed. But when you notice them, you can take your life back. The lesson? Life after 65 doesn't have to shrink, but it can if you're not paying attention. These subtle traps don't announce themselves. They creep in slowly, quietly, and the best way to fight them? Stay curious, stay connected, stay moving. Leonard's not counting the years anymore. He's filling them. Let me know if you want a short excerpt of this, turned into a voiceover sample. Leonard didn't just change his habits, he changed his outlook. As the fog of aimlessness lifted, he realized how dangerous subtle complacency can be. The world doesn't take you off the stage, he reflected. You quietly step off when you stop showing up. That shift in thinking gave him momentum. He woke up each morning with intention, no longer wasting hours waiting for something to happen. Instead, he created moments worth living. He started keeping a journal, not to write anything profound, but to track the small things. What made him laugh? Who did he talk to? What did he learn? It helped him stay present and, more importantly, grateful. One entry read, "Tried that spicy Thai soup. Eyes watered. Loved it. Met Joan in the garden." She used to be a pilot. How amazing! Joan was one of the new friends Leonard met at the community center garden project. Volunteering there got his hands dirty and his heart full. Watching tomatoes grow and chatting over mulch taught him something unexpected. Life after 65 isn't a slow fade, it's fertile ground, if you're willing to plant something. As weeks turned into months, his family noticed. His voice had more spark. His eyes lit up when he talked about new books or how the youth center kids were doing. His granddaughter, 11-year-old Maya, said it best, "Grandpa, you seem younger now." That single comment struck him hard, not because it flattered him, but because it was true. He felt younger, not in years, but in spirit. That was the real trap, believing the best parts of life were behind him. One Sunday, during a quiet moment after church, Leonard reflected on how close he had come to letting his remaining decades be shaped by passive living. No big crisis, no dramatic event, just the slow creep of stagnation, masked as rest. But retirement, he realized, wasn't the end of the road. It was an unmarked trail, waiting to be explored. He made it his mission to share what he'd learned. At first, it was just casual conversations with friends at the senior center. Then he gave a talk called The 9 Quiet Traps at a local library. The room was full, and not just with seniors. Children of older parents came too, eager to understand and help. Leonard's story sparked dialogue and change in others. People cried. People laughed. People went home ready to live differently. One man stood up and said, "I've been retired for 3 years, and I think I've been asleep the whole time. Thank you for waking me up." Leonard smiled. That, he realized, was purpose. Not a job title, not a paycheck, but being useful, being present, and being a reminder to others that life after 65 can be rich with discovery. Now, instead of watching time slip by, Leonard fills it with learning, connection, laughter, and legacy. Because the biggest trap of all isn't aging, it's thinking you're done living. And Leonard? He's just getting started. Let me know if you'd like a short voiceover pulled from this story. He stopped saying yes to things out of guilt and started saying yes to what lit him up. Whether it was attending a neighbor's poetry night, walking a rescue dog at the animal shelter, or simply spending a quiet morning with a good book and coffee, he chose presence over pressure. He also learned to talk more openly about aging. At first, it felt strange to admit fears about loneliness or health, but in being honest, he found connection. Conversations deepened, friendships grew stronger. The secret, he now tells others, isn't in fighting age. It's in engaging with life at every age. Leonard didn't reverse the clock. He rewired his mindset. And that changed everything. As he looked ahead to his 70s, he no longer dreaded the years to come. Instead, he saw them as a second bloom, an era rich with stories to tell, people to love, and moments to savor. The quiet traps may still be out there, but Leonard had learned how to spot them, and more importantly, how to rise above them, with purpose, with joy, and with both feet firmly back on the path of living. Let me know if you'd like a short snippet turned into a voiceover sample.